Moving on from life's big challenges. How do you move on from life's biggest challenges? Well, if you're looking for an easy answer, I'm sorry, I haven't got one. I do have help for you, though. One thing I found is that acceptance helps me. Accepting myself as I am right now today helps me to move on with life, despite the big challenges that I and perhaps you face. Accepting, well, it includes acknowledging reality is what it is. For example, you're not perfect. You never will be perfect. Even if you were perfect, the world's not perfect, and bad stuff happens that's completely out of your control. I realize you know all that. Yet even so, it's still easy to forget when you're in the trenches of life's biggest challenges, isn't it? Every time you're struggling with the details of difficult things in life, it comes up. When life's big challenges are in your life today, here and now, it's hard to, really be gentle enough with yourself so that you're prepared to do the hard work of moving on. Life's biggest challenges require that we dig deep and be gentle. And be gentle enough with yourself, because part of moving on to a new life after something's happened is the kind of self-care that you need to do whenever hard stuff lands in your life. And I find that accepting that I need to take extra care of myself is part of moving on from all of life's biggest challenges. And it's going to happen to you not just now, but a lot of times in your life. The things that are impossible have to be dealt with. And yet, when that happens, it can be frustrating to really make the kind of time and effort that helps you to move on by being gentle with yourself. So part of it is accepting. Part is accepting yourself, and part is accepting that there are things that you can't do anything about. And in the abstract, thinking about it, it makes sense. But when stuff that you can't do anything about shows up in your life here and now, that's where the details are really hard. And that's exactly where acceptance helps the most. That's exactly when taking care of yourself, gently, thoroughly, right away, and continuously, gives you what you're going to need to move on. It's the nitty-gritty, icky stuff that's in between knowing that life's not fair and the part about making the best of it. When the big challenges in life happen, you've got to move on, and you know it, you realize it. Acceptance is something that helps me to keep moving. And sometimes the only moving that I can do is to find smaller ways to care for myself. So I want to suggest that to you. Take care of yourself. Accept yourself while paying attention to what you're grateful for. Because that's what I get out of acceptance, is it opens awareness of what I'm grateful for. And it helps me to focus on the positive. It's a shift in perspective, an attitude. And gratitude helps me to notice more of the things that are helpful. And focusing on what I'm grateful for is one of the many small ways I care for myself. Gratitude helps me to be optimistic. Gratitude gives me hope. I encourage you to take really good care of yourself today and see if you open a way to find what you're grateful for today. Because once you grab hold of that, it will be possible for you to do the impossible. And indeed, accepting yourself and your situation does lead to gratitude, because it gives you the space you need to be open to an attitude of gratitude, to simply let gratefulness seep in you. And gratitude is what's going to help you cope with whatever happens. Gratitude will help you relish the good that remains in your current situation. And there are good things, and there are good people There is good in your situation. Accepting the situation, though, is a stumbling block to finding what you're grateful for. So accepting is what helps me, and I encourage you to accept. Accept the unacceptable in some cases in order to do the impossible. Anyway, I've discovered that focusing on being grateful for all that is in the present moment helps me to move on. So I encourage you, accept yourself. Use that as a way of taking the next step, of being good to yourself, finding special ways to care for you in every situation today. That's going to help you to open yourself to experiencing gratitude for real. And it's going to help you to notice what you are grateful for, because there are things you're grateful for. You might just not realize it. So accept yourself and begin learning how to be more accepting of yourself today, simply by getting started doing it right away. Anyway, in my experience, that's what's going to help you move on from life's biggest challenges. Moving on from life's biggest challenges is important, even if it feels impossible, especially when it's impossible. Thanks so much for being here. This is Cynthia Ann Layton, owner of Software Enterprise Limited.